So my name is Mike Washington, and I'm back with you once again, picking up from the show on the low impact exercises. So we have completed a two-part section of the light impact exercises. It ended up being two shows. It was a long set, and I was able to share with you some good exercises to complement the weight management system that I have introduced to you. And I'm very excited about it, and I have made sure throughout the entire time as I went through the shows that I did summaries to make sure there was a recap on the information that was shared with you throughout the entire show. So it's 12 shows, and I'm glad I was able to pass this on to anyone who has been interested in a new approach to managing their weight, getting it under control, and to get something in place that they can stick with, pursue, work at it, and get permanent results. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a month. It doesn't happen in a week. It takes time. It's a process, and I have it. I've developed it. I created it. I've gone through it, and I'm going through it now, and it works. It's an effective system, and I'm proud to have the opportunity to share it with anyone who is looking for a new approach at this time to manage their weight. So with that being said, I have more information to support not just the equipment that you needed and the supplies that you needed, but now we need to talk more about the food aspect of this weight management system. Okay, we talked about the tools such as a scale. We talked about having a measuring tape to measure your waistline. That scale, the benefit is checking it every day, getting on it and evaluating your weight every day so you can see what changes happened the prior day. And by the end of the week, taking a look at the average of your weight so you can determine what changes happened in the beginning of the week. What was the biggest spike and what was the greatest success that you had during the week, so you can model that going into the upcoming weeks. And also the measuring tape, once again, is the most accurate way to determine someone's ideal weight. Also, you have to track it. I discuss a daily log sheet. That's important because you want to track the numbers that you get off the scale. You want to track the food that you're eating because you want to know which specific types of food are making the greatest impact on weight gain, or what is the series of types of food that you're eating that are creating better results for you, because that's what you want. You want to find out over the long haul what is effective, what is working each week, each day, each meal. So that daily log sheet is critical as you go through the process of the implementation of transforming yourself into the ideal weight that you want to be at, which is good health. That's what it all boils down to, good health. We want good health. All right, so with that being said, once again, my name is Michael Washington, and just a quick recap, I am an excited, charismatic person about the projects that I'm involved in. I'm currently in school right now, love learning. I'm in school for a program of virtual assistants, so I love to learn. And part of putting this program together, I did a lot of research and study. I read tons of books. I read a lot of information. I studied other people. I studied experts. I read information on doctors. I read articles. So I gathered a lot of data into compiling this project together for you. So I'm very excited to have finally completed it and have shared it and rolled it out to you. And I'm looking forward to assisting and helping anyone who is interested in getting involved with this system and making some serious changes in their physical body. Okay, so with that being said, once again, I talked about donating blood. I think that's important as well. By donating blood, you're able to have an internal transformation within yourself as well, because that's important to get the brain, get the body into a stage where you realize that something is about to change, and sometimes a serious action such as donating blood can be that method. And I found that pretty effective. You know, you can see and you can feel that something different is happening, and it does. Okay, even more with you donating blood. Not only are you helping someone, I've saved over 4 people's lives by donating my blood. You're able to get some stats about the quality of your blood, and that's pretty important as well. You want to know the quality of your blood. If your cholesterol is high, if your glucose is high, you know, anything that is in the red about your blood, you want to get it managed and get it under control and get it under repair if possible. Okay, so in addition to that, I talked about chess, which is a good exercise or a game that can be played to exercise the brain. Okay, it helps to enhance the imagination. So chess may not be an easy game for everyone to play, but I do want to encourage anyone who has not considered giving it a try, add chess into this weight management system. It's a good game. Okay, it's good for the brain, good exercise for that brain, that muscle. Okay, and I have shown you in the previous shows the light impact exercise that are very effective. And to take things to the next level, I do have additional series of exercises that will complement and support those light impact exercises for any individual who is interested in going beyond just doing the light impact exercises and would like to enhance those. So I do have some additional exercises, and they're mainly geared toward the waistline. The next set of exercises that I have, they target the waistline because that's the critical part. That's the most accurate measurement of someone's body fat and their body mass, the waistline. So I have a next set, a next level of exercises that zeroes in and targets the core, the obliques, the lower back. All right. And then I have another level, so it just doesn't stop. I have more to offer. But as I share in previous shows, I am willing to give a workshop or a presentation. I have provided my contact information, and I will also present it here once again. With that being said, we're going to move on into the next show, Mike's Transformation. Mike's Weight Transformation Show. All right. Okay, weight for what? Now, as you see this picture here, it has a lot of food laid out for us. Okay. This is the biggest challenge with individuals who's trying to manage their weight. There's so many opportunities, so many options, so many choices of food, delicious food to choose from. Okay, so once you have a system in place, once you have a workout regimen of light impact exercises, now we have to deal with the mental challenge with the body, the physical aspect of controlling food, of managing food. Okay, so what goes in the body have the biggest effect because we see how good food looks and how good food tastes, but after it goes into the stomach, the digestion system takes over. So many things happen, such as getting a full stomach, to pressing more food inside the stomach, because that meal you have, whatever the breakfast is you're eating, the lunch that you're eating, the brunch that you're eating, the dinner that you're eating, it tastes so good. Take a look at this. This is what we see. When we're at home watching TV, you're watching your favorite TV show, you're watching a reality show, you're watching a football game, basketball game, baseball game, hockey, whatever you're watching on TV, your favorite show is on, and all of a sudden they have to go to a commercial. When they go to a commercial, you're going to see these type of things pop up. This pizza, a juicy burger with fries, and the food items that you see is blown up to fill up the entire screen, and that just entices you and lures you in to make you want to go out the next day and get that. But you have a system in place. You have to have willpower, and you have to be strong enough to hold out and wish that and make choices that are good for you to stay on track to managing your weight every day of the week, so you can hit your goal by the end of the week. You want to hit your average goal by the end of the week. So you have to be prepared and be strong enough to make the right decision when these images pop up on the TV screen, or if you receive it in the mail, or you drive down the street and you see restaurants next door to each other. You may see 4 or 5 restaurants just lined up next to one another, and they have some of the best meals on the menu. Now the menus are colored, and the food is just so enticing and alluring. So you have to be prepared to keep your hat on in regards to making the right choice about managing your weight, okay? Even more, from the time a baby is born, the habit of eating, the habit of drinking is automatic. And as people grow up, there are some myths that have gone on for years. Let's talk about those myths. Here's another display right here, a buffet. You have restaurants, they have a layout of all types of food, or even at some family gatherings, there may be a layout, a spread of a food, of some type of business event, some type of conference you may attend. The food may be laid out in abundance, and you have so many choices, and you have those large spoonfuls you can pick up and stack on your plate. So you have to be prepared for these type of things. You have to be prepared for it. It's going to challenge you. And the mental challenge I'm talking about is the brain and the body. They're going to compete with each other. They're going to struggle, tug a war with one another. It's a challenge between the brain and the body, because the stomach will accept whatever you put in it. As long as you're moving and putting food in your mouth, it will accept it. But when it comes to the brain gets conditioned to the point where if you make changes, it's going to resist it, it's going to oppose it, it's going to fight the change you're trying to make for the betterment of your body. So you keep that in mind as you are making selections and choices of the food that you're going to eat. Okay, as I get further along, I'm going to talk more about the type of foods that I eat on a regular basis, and some of the foods that I really like, I eat occasionally. So you deserve to treat yourself. You have to treat yourself. All right, so we're going to talk more about the list of different food items that I have selected that I enjoy. Okay, but I'm still staying on track with maintaining and managing my weight. So let's keep it moving. Let's talk a little bit more about what's going on here. Look at all that delicious food. All right. Once again, you have to have willpower. Once the stomach is full, cut it off. If necessary, if you're almost full, if you're 90% full, you may want to back off and push away from that plate, push away from the table. Cover it up with your napkin. Okay, you've had enough. The challenge, the issue comes when you're full and you exceed that point. All right. So there are some myths that go along with this. The myths that challenges your willpower is not leaving food on your plate. You've heard of that. There have been cases where you go to someone's house, or even your own family. Even when I grew up, we were taught not to waste food. If there's food on your plate, eat all the food. You do not want to waste food because you have people who need food. So why would you waste food? So that's one of the myths that have been instilled in some individuals at a young age, and it may not have changed, and it may have been passed on to their younger ones. And if that's the case, the habit could be developing to eat and constantly eat as much as humanly possible, and then eventually over time, as activity levels change, that can lead to cases of becoming overweight or obese. All right. So once again, people may be pressured by that type of myth. Don't waste food. Clean your plate. All right. It's okay to save leftovers and eat them the next day. They're just as good. Okay. So some people get pressured. And for some people that are not fortunate enough to take advantage of the abundance of food, I hope that their condition can get better. But another myth is if you go over to someone's house and you offer food, you offer something to drink, you offer cake, you offer cookies, you offer a full meal, full plate. So that's another myth. If you turn down food, some people do not receive that well. It has been known as a myth of a sign of disrespect if you are offered a drink or if you're offered some type of food and you turn the item down. Okay, so that puts a person in a situation, if they are managing their weight and they're offered food and then they have to eat the food that is presented to them and the drink that's offered to them. All right, so I'm going to talk more about some adjustments to make to meals. As you can see, the myth have been of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For years, people have been instilled in the mode of eating breakfast as a big meal, eating lunch, and then you have dinner. These are myths you want to be conscious of, folks. Do we really have to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner? And keep in mind, you have brunch squeezed in some cases as well. So it's not easy to walk the line when it comes to managing weight. But it can be done. And I've proven it and I'm showing it to you now. I'm giving you a system right now that you can take advantage of. Someone once said that a wise person should consider that health is the greatest of human blessings. But when food is everywhere, and it is, and all types of delicious taste to satisfy any person's appetite, the options are unlimited.